Todger! Yeah, you heard me. Todger! Let me explain. Heard something on the telly earlier, and I wrote it down. What exactly was it? I thought it was good. Is it the walking dads, the three dads there that have been walking on behalf of their own children who all, sadly, three young girls who all committed suicide? I think these three young dads have had a campaign, not just to raise money, but to raise more awareness within the country. And they've seen old Starmer on 2 or 3 occasions, and I think now they're going to bring something into the old curriculum. Is it curriculum? Is that what it's called? I think it is. For young kiddies, I think at senior school, but young kiddies, to be taught about suicide, obviously the perils of it, or the perils of death, the perils of it, and now there's a big band of people out there trying to drive young ones into committing the horrible atrocity that is suicide. No doubt there'll be people amongst you that have had maybe friends, relations, close family have committed suicide. It's an awful, awful thing. It's awful for those that obviously commit it, that do it, and it's awful for the family that they leave behind. And I thought, that's fantastic. That's a really, really good thing. At last, we're in something that's half decent to do with education. As I read that, I'm on another site a little bit later, and I think the education secretary is talking about sex education for young kiddies. That's where the todgy bit comes from. Wait a minute, and I'm going to tell you. It's not about sex education for young kids. I think they were going to start having it in I think the Conservatives knocked it to year 5, and I think Labour want to bring it to year 3 to much, much younger kiddies. Anyway, we're having a chat at home the other day, about 3 days ago. I'm here, her indoors, he sat over there. My middle child, my daughter's over there, and she's got the young granddaughter in, the granddaughter that I see a lot of. And they're talking about something to do with death or whatever else, and the thing is, my granddaughter's fixated. You're going to think she's a bit weird. She's weird, but she's my granddaughter, so I get that. She's fixated with pee, poo, bums, and to an extent death. She's fixated with anything that shocks people, anything at all. So she heard something about death mentioned, and she's talking, and then my granddaughter steps in about death and about how they're left alone, and she used some terms, and I thought, where has she got that from? How does she know about her? She's only 8. She's really, really clever, really switched on. She used a couple of terms that made me laugh. She said, that's not all I know. I said, oh, right, okay. Then she said, Todger. I said, what? Todger. Where's she got that from? Penis. Penis, she said, not penis, penis. I said, what's going on? My daughter said, I don't know what it is, she said. Picked her up from school t'other day. One of the mothers said, do you know about this sex education they're having? My daughter said, no, I've not seen anything. She said, you should have got a letter. My daughter said, I've had nothing. She said, yeah. All the young kiddies are talking about it, she said. The 7 and 8 year olds they're having. Anyway, last night, granddaughter came down a couple of nights later after the day. She said, Grandad, let me see your penis. And I'm saying, no, that's not on the show. Don't worry about that. She's using the words all the time just to shock. So I'm putting a bit of light-hearted in there. Well, I find it light-hearted, although I don't laugh while she says it. But inside I'm thinking, you're doing anything to make me laugh and to shock me. She loves to shock. She loves to shock. She really does. And it normally works. Not with me, but with everybody else. People can't understand some of the words that come out of her mouth. She didn't realise that first. Any kind of sex education was a big thing. She wasn't thinking, oh, I've got things I can talk about when I get home. But then when she realised her mum was embarrassed by the words, now whenever her mum's around, she tends to use them. Hence, the Todger again last night, 2 days after we first heard it. I think going forward she'll be using those names even more and more and more. But I thought, no, I don't mind them teaching young kiddies about suicide and the perils of it, and the perils of social media. I'd rather them teach them that than the old sex education. I don't think kiddies need sex education at 7 and 8. I don't, I might be wrong, but maybe that's just me. But I'm an old fogey. Bear that in mind.